Don't matter. All right, let's go. Let's go. Hey, MVP is going to talk to you guys about the next fight on the fight card. You see it here in the prelims. It is Mauricio Rufy, and I think it's pronounced Huffy, with an H, right? So the Huffy bike here, he's 9-1. He's got the most impressive record you're ever going to see, right? And he's fighting Jamie Malarkey, 17-7. Huge favorite, minus 210, another Brazilian favorite. And if you look, Mauricio has knocked everybody out. It's the most impressive thing you ever see. He's knocked everybody out. His last fight, he was fighting, now let's be clear, he's with the Fighting Nerds, okay? And he's in the Contender Series, and he's fighting one of those Russian dudes, Dagestani dudes, a dude who trains with all the other Russian bears, right? And he goes out there, and he actually wins the fight in the third round, wins by strikes with about 15 seconds left on the clock. And it looks impressive. You beat a wrestler, you do whatever. So everybody's big on this guy's knockout acumen. He usually knocks people out in the first or the second round. But what I saw was a guy that didn't have a lot of volume for me. Like, I saw a guy that doesn't really swing. Now, he swings hard, and he's a great counter striker, but he's not out there putting pressure. And I thought he was out of energy and out of breath. He's one of those super muscular guys for the weight division. He did not look the part to me. I'm just telling you. He didn't. And I know Malarkey's got a suspect chin, and that's why the odds are the way they are. But I got to show you guys something. Look who's Hoofy's beat up. So, by the way, he loses to this guy right here, Sosa. Sosa does not fight in the UFC, but he is an undefeated fighter. And he's the beast, okay? He's a beast. Everybody else he's beat, except for Torres, is not impressive. Beating Torres was impressive. But everybody, look, I'm going to show you his opponents. He's knocking out dudes who are 0-1 in their whole life. 0-1. Let's keep track. 0-1, 0-1, that's 0-2, 0-3, 0-6, 0-7, 0-8, 0-9, and that's how we get here. So of all his opponents, their record in their lifetime is 0-9. So who did he really beat? Like, who is he? I don't know, but is he -2? Like, I can't get down with that. I just can't. When we move to Jamie Malarkey, we're looking at a man who's been fighting in the UFC for a while. Okay, he started fighting the UFC back on 2019. And in his debut, he lost to Brad Riddell, who's a good fighter. And then he lost to Faraziem, who's a next-level French fighter. Like, he's a really good fighter. So you lose 2 decisions, and people start thinking you ain't shit. Nah, bro, he's a fighter. Knocked out 2 guys, lost to Jalen Turner, who's a great fighter. Got some decision wins, and that Francisco Prado decision win right there, beating Michael Johnson, by the way, in split decision. But these 2 wins are so impressive because Prado was an undefeated prospect. Very similar, he's from Argentina, I believe, but very similar to Rufy, okay? And then he goes and gets into a fight with Niamov and gets knocked out. Okay, it didn't work out. Beats McDessie. McDessie's a short little wrestler type dude. And then this Nazarat, it was bad. But I was impressed because he got rocked and he's getting beat up and he still just goes back up to his feet. So here's the deal. The UFC, you can lose a fight with 1 punch. It's possible. And Mauricio Rufy has 1 punch power. And he's been knocking everybody out. They say at the right hand of God and all this stuff. And this whole fight card is about showcasing the Fighting Nerds. It really is. Kaio is in a later fight. We'll talk about it. But for me, when I look at this, I'm really, really paying attention to something. And it's this right here. It's Rufy's output. In the third round, 15 seconds left in the fight, he's fought an entire fight, and he's thrown 124 punches. 124 punches in 15 minutes. And he's exhausted. And he's just depleted. And he still wins, but he's depleted at 124. Do I have to tell you what kind of output Malarkey's doing in these fights? 179. Okay. What is it? 126. And dominating a young striker. 200. Malarkey is so much output. And as long as he doesn't get clipped, he can pressure you to the point where you'll be in trouble. As a matter of fact, in his fight against Prado, at one point, he just changes levels and gets a takedown because Malarkey can do everything. Malarkey's a good fighter, like a good all-around fighter. I like Malarkey in this fight. I think he's got too much experience. I think he's got too many weapons. I think he knows what to do. There's an advantage there in the takedowns. This guy, Rufi, like, I got it. He's got that one-punch knockout power everybody's talking about. And it's scary to bet against that. Trust me. I understand. You guys are going to be like, Rico, what are you talking about? We're not doing this. Yeah, man. Malarkey is not a punk. I'm just going to tell you, for me, 168 money on Malarkey, that's huge payday. That's a huge odds right there. If you have the balls to bet it, shout out to the MVPs. But what it really comes down to is if you look at Malarkey's record and you go through his career, yeah, he lost to Volkanovski before the UFC. He's been fighting monsters his whole career. This other dude, Rufi's been fighting a bunch of damn mailmen. Like, he's been fighting dudes who are 0-1 in their whole lives. Malarkey's been fighting since 2016. He fought Volkanovski, and he lost. But the guys he's beating, and the guys he's lost to, let me just say that. The guys he's lost to are names. We're talking about Riddell, Ziem, Jalen Turner, Niamov, Hasparat, like Nazareth. Like, these are named guys. These are marquee UFC dudes. And you're telling me some guy named Rufi, who just won his Contender Series, this is his debut. And I know, UFC debut, it's so hard to get these right. When a guy shows up, you haven't seen enough of him fighting. I can't find these fights online. I haven't seen enough of him fighting. I see highlights from these fights, but I want the whole fight. All I can see is the record against a bunch of 0-1 dudes, and he knocked them all out in the first round. Those guys never fought again. Is he that good? I think he's overly muscular. I think his lactic acid is going to build up and he's going to lose this fight. I think he's going to get exhausted and get out-pressured. As long as he doesn't clip Malarkey, Malarkey's winning this fight. I'm telling you, no eyebrows and all, Malarkey's winning this fight. I really feel that way. He's just more well-rounded. He's been at this game for a really long time, and he's only losing to real fighters, real big names. And Rufi, Hoofy, Huffy, however you want to say it, he ain't on that list of names, bro. That's how I feel. Okay, so like I said, I would be betting on Malarkey in this fight. It's a value bet. It's a plus 168. I think Malarkey gets it done. I don't know if he knocks him out. I don't know if he submits him or gets the points. He can do anything. Okay, Malarkey, he could club him and sub him. He can do anything. But just trust, Malarkey's a real fighter, man. I'm going to be pulling for him in this fight. And Hoofy's going to be great in the first round. He's going to be knockout power worthy in the first round. I think Malarkey gets a takedown, gets his arms tired, and then the knockout threat's gone. And now we can figure some shit out. And I think, Jamie Malarkey is a better fighter. At least that's what I see on tape. Your friends don't know. But Rico knows some MVPs are better than others. Go make your money, y'all. All right. Nah.
I think so.
No, you weren't.
Well, all I know is that it's...
You weren't here at that time. Because I've been making videos that whole time.
Hey, he's going to talk to you guys about the next fight on the fight card.
Whatever. Ash been missing you. What's in the bags?
And I think it's pronounced
So, we got
with an
some bread,
H,
some
right?
bratwurst.
So the Huffy bike here, he's 9
Some
and 1.
sandwich meat for me, because I know
He's got
it's
the
not
most
your
impressive
thing.
record you're ever going to see, right?
Go on. Just keep listing stuff. Don't worry about what is my thing and what's not my thing.
I got some chips to go with the bratwurst, sour cream and onion.
Has knocked everybody out.
Favorite.
It's the most impressive thing you've ever seen. He's knocked everybody out.
Are you making dinner tonight?
Yes, I'm eating dinner.
What are you making?
Pork chops.
Pork chops.
Pork and bratwurst.
Pork chops. All right. I'm game. Let me get them pork chops. I made 4 videos so far. I'm going to try to get through all of them. But I'm putting in some effort. I'm rewatching everybody's fights, so it takes time, you know?
Right.
I'm trying. Bro, military guys be going through the whole list, making sure everything's checked. I am very thorough. I'm better than most military guys, right? So I'm that upper 1%. So I'm very, very thorough about everything. I ask a lot of questions. I don't know.
153 is when I left Gomes.
What's that got to do with me?
Tell you the time I left the store to deliver.
Oh, your stuff came from the UPS. You get it by the front door? All right, so check this out. UPS dude rings the doorbell, obviously gets baby girl interested, right?
Right.
So I go see what's going on. Okay. I open the door. She nudging her little nose out the door. As soon as I open it, she takes off. As soon as I open it, she goes to the front yard, not far.
Okay.
She goes to the front yard. And she's sitting there in the sun and she's just like loving it up. And she's peeing and she's doing whatever she does. And I'm like, hey, sweetie, it's time to get back inside. Nope, she ain't coming back inside. I'm like, yo, I'm barefoot. I grab the package, get back inside. So I open the door. I'm like, let's go. She's not coming back inside. She's just going around your car in circles, right?
Right.
She's annoying me. So I'm like, well, I got to get back to work. I don't have time to be arguing with you. So I shut the door on her ass and left her out there, right? And then I take like 2-3 steps. And then I go to the room and I check out the window. And she's just sitting there waiting. Like she's just can't believe I shut the door on her. You don't want to come inside? I'm shutting the door on your ass, right? So literally, as soon as I open the door, she darts back in the house because she don't want to be left out there. She's so cute. She's so cute. All right, mamas. Te amo también.
At UFC 301, you have Joaquin Silva taking on Drakkar Close. They didn't do Joaquin Silva any favors here. There wasn't any homer matchmaking here because Drakkar Close is very good. We got Joaquin Silva 13-4 overall, 2-3 in his last fight. He's coming off a decision win over Clay. Taking on Drakkar Close. Drakkar Close is 14-2 in his win. 4-1 in his last fight. He's coming off that big slam knockout win over Joe Selecki, and that card had 2 slam knockout wins. Ooh, pretty wild. Joaquin Silva is the homer here. Joaquin Silva is a local guy. Joaquin Silva is a dangerous guy that can win fights, but Joaquin Silva's also getting up there. He's been in a couple of wars. He fades a little bit as fight goes on, but overall, he's a very good fighter. He's got big knockout power in his hands. He is a jiu-jitsu black belt, and he has all of those skills. Problem is, he's sort of chasing the knockout more than anything. He's typically not attempting takedowns. He's not typically looking to get it to the ground and fight that way. If you remember, he did have Armin Sarukian on ice skates 2 fights ago. He ended up losing that fight, and then he came back and just fought an insanely old Clay Guida, where he got his wrestling going. For the first time in his UFC career, he focused solely on a wrestling and grappling offensive type fight, and he won that fight. He beat a very busy Clay Guida. He had success in that. He's taking on Drakkar Close. Drakkar Close is also a very good wrestler. In high school, he was a stage champion. He developed some striking skills as well. He uses his wrestling offense more than most. But he does have some issues defending takedowns. He's got solid boxing, he's got good power, he's got speed. Overall, he's a well-rounded guy. He can go the distance, he can win by finish. And he's coming off that win over Joe Selecki. He was in an armbar, and he just boom, and then knocked out poor Joey. And this fight should be Drakkar Close all day. It should. And what's funny is, and you'll see, I'll just move to this slide now. Drakkar Close is the older fighter. In my mind, Joaquin Silva was like 4, pretty much on his way out, and that's it. And I thought Drakkar Close was like 32. And then I put together the graphics and do all that. It's like, oh man, Drakkar Close is 36, and he's older than Joaquin Silva. I don't think it necessarily matters in this fight. Drakkar Close has not folded at any point. Joaquin Silva is going to come forward, look to make it a striking match. Drakkar Close is going to be the better striker. Obviously, Joaquin could have some success wrestling, like Rafa Garcia did. But I think if that starts to happen, I think Drakkar Close will implement his own wrestling. I'm going with Drakkar here. He is going to be the pick. He's a durable guy. He's got multiple paths to victory. And I do think these odds are fair. I think Drakkar Close should be a -184 favorite in this match. And that has tightened a bit. He was -190 on Sunday. What do you think, JP Bomba looks?
Yeah, I said about Joaquin before that he just looks the part, man. I mean, he just looks the part. I said in my quick video, if you just handed out pictures of every single person in the UFC of random people, he said, who do you think is the best fighter? I bet he would be in the top 5. Everybody's list just from the physical attributes. And he does use those physical attributes. I mean, he would use it in the wrestling, the grappling, he would use it in the big power shots he throws. The issue with me with Silva in this fight is his lack of volume. I think he's just going to get behind early against a guy like Drakkar Close. As you mentioned, the card definitely just have too many tools, right? And once you get down and get to swing wild and heavy against these guys that are pretty good in this division. I mean, you mentioned Clay Guida fight. That was almost kind of a dogfight, you know, second and third rounds. And to beat that against a guy like Clay Guida, where Drakkar Close is, he's better Clay Guida. I mean, he can wrestle, he's got big power as well. Outside of Silva, you know, chinning this dude, just kind of randomly, which he's definitely capable of. I just don't see him winning this fight. He's going to lose, I think, every second of the fight unless he lands a big shot. And I can't pick that or trust that for a bet. So I like Drakkar Close here. I just think he's going to be too active. He's going to win the entire time.
Yeah, and Silva's not even, you could do inside the distance decision, no, actually, he's not the most durable guy either. Right. So it is a tricky, there's not much value on the Silva side. But I will say, he does have that power. He had more success striking against Armin Sarukian than Charles Oliveira did. Charles Oliveira had no trouble striking. No, obviously he won the chicken days for sure. And yeah, he had Armin to the point where that's why a lot of people thought Charles Oliveira was going to knock out Armin, because like Joaquin Silva had him in trouble. And Joaquin Silva's the only person that had him. So he does have that big power, and he can land it. But Drakkar Close should just be better, faster, to the point. The offensive wrestling is there. Drakkar Close should absolutely win this fight. And this line is tightening. This is a perfect example of the line moving track. The line is tightening. It's not a freight train, but it is starting to tighten a little bit. So I'm keeping an eye on it. And frankly, if this gets a little tighter, we end up in the 170s, maybe even a little lower than that. But then I might go ahead and jump on that. Because I think what is happening on this card is some of the big favorites are coming huge favorites, and people are looking for value elsewhere. So they're going to bet some dogs. They're going to turn some other people into big favorites. But I think a lot of the rest of the lines outside of like the 5 that everybody's positive on are going to tighten because people are just going to hit dogs looking for generic value. What do you laugh at?
No, it was the picture figure starts like pull up my YouTube TV app, and then you know how on Max they like will make a screen completely disappear. Like you have to get like now you like throw screen right or whatever. It made this completely disappear, and I did. I was like, I looked at it, I didn't know how to get it back. I was sitting here like I could hear you. And I'm like,
And this is a striker versus striker matchup for the most part.
Hell yeah, I'm already knowing. Live right off Kings Bay, Naval Base, and 30 minutes from Jacksonville. Colorado just picked up an offensive tackle, Ethan Boyd from Michigan State. I thought their offensive line was good. Thought they didn't need anybody else. No, they're fine. Congratulations. I'll make the video when I get a chance. I'm busy right now. I want to get in as many UFC fights as I can today so I can relax tomorrow and just talk transfer portal tomorrow. Do some high school film reviews and stuff like that because today's going to be a full UFC day. And it's 3 p.m. I got about 7 hours left worth of work that I can do before I get tired and fall asleep. And in 7 hours, can I break down, how many more fights are left? 7 hours, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 videos to make. Let's get it done. Hey, MVPs, want to talk to you guys about the next prelim fight. You see it here, Joaquim Silva versus Drakkar Klose. If you're doing a full parlay of all the Brazilian fighters, cut that shit out. Don't do it. Joaquim Silva, look at him, six-pack, chiseled, looks like an action figure. He's got all the tattoos. He looks like a fighter. If we were having a pickup game or if we were picking teams to fight each other and it was just a bunch of dudes standing in front of you, you would pick Joaquim Silva 10 times out of 10 because he looks like an ass kicker. The only issue is he's not an ass kicker. He probably once was. Maybe he's cool amongst his friends. He looks like a dude who popped a lot of steroids and did not train fighting all that well. I'm just being real. Don't have a chin anymore, 35 years old. Yes, Drakkar Klose is older. But Klose is going to bully this man. I promise you. Klose is going to bully him. Klose is a 5'9", 155-pound fighter. Got it. American, all this stuff. Watch this slam here. Klose is actually, they're attempting to do an arm bar. You know, those Brazilians, those jiu-jitsu nerds, attempting to do an arm bar to Klose. And watch him in this little window here. He does a slam, a guard slam, and he's knocked out from the guard slam. It's one of the most impressive things you'll see. Go look it up. But he's not a one-trick pony, and that was Joe Selecki, by the way. He beat Rafa Garcia, that's a Cub Swanson disciple. Beat him by unanimous decision. Yes, he got knocked out by Beneil Dariush. Beneil Dariush is a main card type fighter, or main event type fighter. Beneil Dariush is very good. But beating Christos Siagos is a great win. Beating Bobby Green, great win. And beating crafty-ass Lando Venata. Like, these are real fighters. These 3 wins in a row is why he was fighting Beneil Dariush. Okay? He's still better than these 3, and he's better than anybody they're putting on the card in front of him. He's good. Drakkar Klose is good. They didn't do the Brazilian any favors. Okay? And then when you go look at the Brazilian's record, it doesn't look so good. He's been getting knocked out left and right. And yes, he lost to Sarukian, lost to Ricky Glenn and Hashrat. But my issue is he lost to an old 40-something-year-old dude, but this was years ago. My issue here is that fight against Clay Guida. Clay Guida is a corpse. Clay Guida is old as dirt, bro. How old is Clay Guida? Clay Guida is 42. Clay Guida's got long hair. You see him in fights. Clay Guida's been fighting forever. I want to tell you, he's been fighting since 2000. 2004, my bad. Didn't mean to exaggerate. Clay Guida's been fighting since 2004. And you went out and fought Clay Guida with all your pretty muscles, and you went to decision with him. You're not going to make it swimming in the deep end with Klose. Not like that, bro. Klose would have finished Guida 10 out of 10. 10 times out of 10, Guida would never made it. So if you're this guy and everybody's convinced and all he did was wrestle in this fight, by the way. There was no real scrap. If you go look at the output, where is it? Let's go look at the output. There it is. What are we doing? We're landing 60 and 80 punches in a 15-minute fight. There's no real scrap there. And you lost the round. 29-28 unanimous decision. You lost the round. You were out there with Clay Guida. Gave you a handful. You're not ready for this fight, Silva. You're going to get embarrassed in front of your home crowd. I got Klose. It's a lock. He's a minus 192 favorite. That's pretty good for a lock. I like it. Careful. You can parlay those 3 and feel pretty good about the prelim card and not go any further, right? You can just parlay those 3 money lines and feel really good about it. So Klose money line, come back up here. I like Dione's money line. I like Bonfim, and we're good. Those 3 money lines, and it's a plus 153. You are doubling your money and a little bit more. That's what I would do with the MVPs. I'm actually going to stop the video here and cut it, snipping tool it, and put it on the Discord server. That's the first prelim parlay that I have for 301. Okay? Congratulations. Pretty exciting stuff. I believe Drakkar Klose is him. He's going to have no problem. Listen, he's going to win this fight in the 2nd or 3rd round. It might go the distance, but I feel like he's going to drown the muscle-bound freak. That's what he's going to do. He's going to drown Joaquin Silva to the point where Silva can't defend himself and can't do anything, and then it'll be a club and sub. It'll be a TKO. It'll be something. I'm just letting you know. I don't think Silva's got it in him like that. Silva's got no chin. He's getting old, and he shouldn't be fighting somebody who's a straight monster. When you see a win streak like this, you know what capability this man has. And it's real. The only person to beat him since 2018 is Beneil Dariush. I want you to think about that. In 6 years, he's lost to 1 world-class fighter. That's it. And he's fought some guys. You put Clay Guida in front of him, he would eat him for lunch and fight the next month. Yeah, Drakkar Klose winning this fight. Joaquin Silva, all the muscles in the world can't save him. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. We out here winning. We out here winning and sinning. Oh, but Rico, you fell off. Yikes, man. All my lights are on, bro. My whole house is popping right now. What'd I fall off of? What'd I fall off of? Hopefully, I hope I fell off. I don't want to pay that many taxes next year. I'm out here paying 6 figures in taxes. It's ridiculous. Block, shoot like that, I'm blocking it. Oh, if I shoot like that? Well, Nick, I'm 6 feet tall, bro. My release is way up here, dude. Come on now. You ain't blocking shit. You ain't blocking. We go to the court right now. It ain't gonna work out for some of y'all. Where do you think my daughter gets her balling skills? My daughter's out here crossing people over, breaking ankles, making them fall. I hope you guys caught that video on TikTok. My daughter's a beast. Oh man, I gotta plug in my phone. We can't be up here without being plugged in. We gotta be plugged in. Oh, there we go. There we go. My daughter's a beast. She's crossing people over, putting them on skates. Skates. I'm like, baby, don't do that. They got parents watching. You can't be doing that shit right there. They got parents watching. They got parents watching. Oh, Rico, don't do that. They got parents watching. Ooh, somebody commented. Yo, this beat right here is fire, yo. Let's go, let's go. I'm gonna do an MVP meet and greet. I ain't meeting everybody. I'm only meeting MVPs. That would be fire. MVPs only. I'm gonna do annual MVPs only. You gotta be an annual member. And then I'll cover your hotel room and flight. What? Mhm. Maybe next year. Maybe next year.
You're watching a toothbrush play Billie Eilish. But did you know that there's a YouTube Music app where you can also
Hey MVPs, want to talk to you guys about the next prelim fight. You see it here, Joaquin Silva versus Drakkar Close. If you're doing we all meet up in Vegas or something. All the Brazilian fighters, cut that shit out. Don't do it. Joaquin Silva, look at him, six-pack, chisel, looks like an action figure. He's got all the tattoos. He looks like a fight. If we were having a pickup game, or if we were picking teams to.
It's a body kick. I mean, it didn't look low to me. Let's take a look. Yeah. That was on the belt line. That is a big move. That is an unsatisfactory ending. So let's have a look here. That was right on the belt line. I don't think that hit the groin.
That is not what I wanted to happen because they will flag it. We need to stay in this audio library. And if we're not in the audio library anymore, then let's go to the playlist and go to 234 videos. Don't care. We'll do that all day. Then let's go check this. We'll go there all day. Rico, you like this week's UFC card better than last? Real MVPs are just the ones who don't follow along. Yeah, do I like this week's card better? I like this week's card better than last. And we hit every parlay last week, but I still like this one better. So, that's how that goes. All right, let's go see what they're saying about Gene Silva. Let's go see what they're saying about Gene Silva. Yo, bro. Don't play me, cuz. Don't play me like that. Don't try to play me like that.
But they are very different strikers. Sean Silva is a violent striker. He's a powerful guy. He's loose. He's creative. The creativity is fun to watch, but it does get him in the weird positions at times. He'll go from a tight guard doing all the right things to just hands down and loose. He alternates between those two pretty often. Thankfully for him, often enough to not let people hit any sort of cadence or rhythm, because it's just he's here, and then he's here, and he's just doing all sorts of fun stuff. Some people like to say he plays with his food, which is, I wouldn't be...
Never do.
No, he goes, it's all utility, baby. No, I just,
Oh, you should do fork method. Did you?
yeah, I use forks like chopsticks. You ever see him eat rice with a chopstick, but they just turn it into like a... Well, you brought up food, and what did you think my badass was going to do?
I don't know. Be clever.
Next time. Well, the forks like chopsticks was clever. Have you ever seen him eat rice with
If it was
chopsticks?
clever, you would have just laughed and brushed off like you're defensive because you know it was clever.
No, because you make a stupid noise. Because you're sense of humor.
Go-
Sean Silva is very good at transitioning between crazy and loose and high and tight. He's very dangerous, he has a ton of power, and he's a very good striker. Takedown defense is solid, his striking is killer, and he's coming off that UFC debut win over Weston Wilson, where he did showcase the power and accuracy, but it's not exactly the highest caliber win. He's taking on William Gomes. This guy's a well-rounded fighter. He can knock you out, he can submit you, he can outwork you. He's not any one thing because he's genuinely good everywhere. Grappling, he's opportunistic, he'll snatch something up. Striking, typically wants to hang out on the outside. Pitter patter. He's got that French savant style where he takes his time, he does the things. It's not the most exciting type of style to watch, but he is effective and he does stay out of danger. He's coming off his first finish win in the UFC over Giannis Gomes. I hate William Gomes' fight style. I hate that savant style. I've been calling it savant, and now I realize it's savant. S-A-V-A-T-E. And in fairness to me, the person who told me that style, I was speaking to a very accomplished person in this community, and it was right after UFC Paris, and I was like, they all fight the same, but he was like, yeah, that's a savant style. I thought he said savant, so I've been saying it that way forever. Now people are like, yo, dummy, it's savant. Either way, that style is not fun to watch. It's boring, it's technical, but it is effective. And it's the exact type of style that could work against a guy like Sean Silva, who is going to play a little bit too much, who is going to throw with big power. You can stay on the outside, dance around, you can pitter patter, avoid danger. William Gomes can win this fight, and the opening odds had him winning this fight is a minus 135 favorite. He's now a plus 112 dog. This is another line I'm going to continue to monitor because I do think William Gomes wins this fight. Am I insanely confident? No. But I do think he's technical enough to avoid the danger, avoid the power. If he moves to this next slide here, you'll see he is only hit with 1.49 significant strikes a minute. That's how good his defense is. And this guy has 2 decisions or 3 decisions in the UFC, and he is still only hit with 1.49 significant strikes. I think that defense matters. I think he dances around. I think he bores us to death. And I do think he can win this fight. Billy Gomes is the pick. What do you think Jake can win? Oops. Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot I already...
Listen, I believe that William Gomes is going to be, and I don't know how to put this, by the way, the 7-6 just tied this game up. I don't know, it's going overtime now. It's just they have 4-1 playing there. Wow. Anyway, a little distracting. I think William Gomes is going to be scared to death of this dude. I think he's going to be scared to death of this dude, because this dude doesn't know what crazy. He's a crazy son of a bitch, and he's going to be stalking this guy down for 15 minutes, just stalking him and stalking him. And in my mind, I agree. I think William Gomes is going to be on his fight. You see him do that. William Gomes not forward like weeks. I know well. He's going to dance. He's going to dance. He's going to those wild switch kicks every once in a while, put some push kicks out there, but he's going to dance around. And I think at this type of fight, John Silva's not going to give him the opportunity to just point fight. He's going to be in the face of William Gomes. He's going to win the bigger moments, right? Yeah, there's big moments. It's going to be all on John Silva. I don't think John Silva's going to go find a knockout or anything like that. But in these, I think it's going to be William on the fence, dancing around. It's going to be big moment John Silva, the crowd, yeah, and then dance around, and then big moment John Silva, yeah. And I think that honestly, he's going to win the fight. He's going to win around. He's going to win the fight because he's going to have big moments. William just doesn't have those big moments. Dance around, wins fights. I think it's going to be his downfall. John Silva's going to fuck, and he's going to stay in his dude's face. He's going to throw his big shit. And I think he's going to win the fight.
I get it. I mean, I get it. I hate that William Gomes fight style, and I don't think he's necessarily better than John Silva. I think it's just the avoid the power style that will work. Because John Silva's going to be much better striker. It's not even going to be close. And if William wants to grapple, he has to get inside the pocket or get close enough to shoot a takedown or tie him up, and that's going to be a problem because that's what John Silva's going to let his hands go. So this is going to be a very tricky fight for William Gomes. He has to fight perfect the whole time. I don't necessarily know if he can, but I'm going to watch that line and see if we can get some solid enough value to make it happen. I do think he wins. I am not, what I will say, my betting style, I'm more conservative than a lot of people. What I don't do is, unless the odds are insane, I don't bet on underdogs just because I'm like, that's decent value. And I know there is a lot of people do that. Like, a lot of people are like, yeah, this is a 50-50 fight. One of them's plus 120, I'll do
You
that.
bet on Gomes?
I haven't yet. I do. Where I'm going is I think he wins, and if he continues to become a bigger and bigger dog, we're going to get better and better odds on him, I might throw something down. Okay. But I wouldn't, watch this betting game, it's effective. And Josh Shock says those odds are on DraftKings, so you can bet about on a weight miss.
All right. So let's see what they are today. It's plus 102. It's going back the other way. Oh, man. Oh, it's jumping everywhere. Hey, MVPs. Rico Knows. Going to talk to you guys about the next fight on the fight card. This is the actual prelims, right? It was early prelims, now the prelim fight. John Silva against William Gomes. I don't think you pronounce the S if it's French, right? I took French in high school. Whatever. So John Silva, John Silva, we bet on him on the very first card that we ever did. He was a minus 950 favorite, and he won in the first round knockout. It was a lock of the night. It was one of the locks. This guy is 5'7", 145, got the Napoleon complex. He's just angry, always hitting somebody really, really hard. Not a very technical striker. Not a Brazilian grappler by any means, but he's just out there and he's ready to bang. And you got to like a little guy who's ready to bang and throw them things, right? The complete opposite on William Gomes' side. William Gomes is this dude, he's a Frenchman, bro. He's retreating before the fight even starts. He is the best backpedaler you're going to see. He's just running around. He's just point fighting. Treats MMA like a sport. He's going to touch you up a little bit and move, touch you up a little bit and move. And I don't like him. I can't cheer for him. You know, he won this last fight here against Gamori. When he won that fight, it was off of a kick at the midsection, like on the belt line. And the other fighter thought it was a low blow, like it hit his cup. So he thought he was going to get a 5-minute breather for a low blow. And he kind of walked away and kneeled over. And the ref stopped the fight and said, no, you lost. It's crazy. Now, the ref did the right thing because it wasn't a low blow. But look, right here, he thinks it's a low blow. And the ref's like, keep fighting. They're not going to keep fighting. It was a low blow. And ref just says, hey, I'm calling this shit. And that's crazy because now dude thought he was getting a 5-minute breather. He thought he was getting breath. But in reality, it wasn't a low kick. It was right on the belt line. I still didn't want him to win. Even though it was right, I still didn't want this dude to win. He's just not likable. He don't go out there to scrap, man. He's not out there to take anybody's lunch money. I don't want that dude having my back in a bar. Since he's been in the UFC, we're talking unanimous decision, split decision, and then that freak accident right there that he gets the call a TKO. It wasn't. And then you're talking about Silva. Silva's out here taking lunch money, bro. Silva wants that shit. I got to respect it. Now, I'm going to tell you how this is going to work in Brazil. In Brazil, I apologize. I didn't mean to close everything. In Brazil, they just start chanting, bro. They just start chanting during the fights. It'll be super dark, and you'll just hear some weird chant, and then it'll fade away. And then they'll go crazy, and then it'll fade away again. It's something they do when they're in Brazil. They're going to sway these judges, okay? Because Gomes is going to get booed. This dude's going to run around on his bike. He's going to hit you here and there. It doesn't hurt you at all. And your boy Silva's going to turn into a brawl. Your boy Silva's going to show up ready to throw them things. And he's going to win the rounds because the crowd is cheering more for him. They're going to be manipulating the judges. And the judges are all about that, the damage, the big moments. It doesn't even matter if you block the strike. If he moves you, the judge will be like, man, that must have hurt. I'm on Silva. It is a complete lean. Do not make it a lock. I'm on Silva. I'm sorry. So I wanted to say one more thing. When the odds came out at the beginning of the week, Gomes was the favorite. Then the ton of money went on Silva, and that made him the favorite. He's Brazilian. They're doing these Brazilian parlays. So careful with that. I don't necessarily know if he's that big of a favorite. And these odds might grow. You might get better money on Gomes. This thing might go to 120 or it might come back the other way. If you guys see odds moving before the fight, check the weigh-in. Make sure somebody made weight didn't. But don't spam me for messages and be like, oh my God, Rico, what happened? This isn't football and somebody got injured and not ready for the fight or ready for the game. This isn't football and we heard so-and-so was doubtful for the game and now he's out. That's not, when the line moves here, it's money or weight, bro. And that's it, money or weight. So just remember that. I'm going with Silva on a lean. You don't have to bet it. You don't have to bet every single fight. Save your money. There's better places to put your money. There's better spots to win, like the next fight. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Boom. What? Why are there words? Why are there words? This shit is fire, bro. This one's going on the playlist. Yeah. Yeah. I hear your voice. Shit is fire. Man, these boys ain't got it like me. They've been walking. I've been D. I've been on top and they've been on the bottom. They've been hiding in the hole like Sodom. They're lucky I found them and I got them. Like a Shiite on a return flight. Ready to explode on your city light. Do what you do. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, that's fire. Oh no, they retire. Everybody else fall by the wayside. Till their waist high. And they drown where they reside. Like they stayed at home through a flood. Or maybe hurricane. I do shit like this until you know the name. Bitch, check your frame, cause what you spit ain't hit. Bitch, check your aim. It ain't hot, check your flame. I'm uh. I'm a dangerous man, I tell you this. You ain't got the piss. And a pistol whip. You got the whip and dip the slip dive. But I'll treat you like first class. Just to ride you like coach. I don't mean to brag and boast, but I think you saw a ghost. Cause you walking through life scared. Or maybe hearing impaired, cause you didn't hear me coming. All you saw was people running. You didn't understand I'm running and gunning. For the top spot, never looking down. I make up words. Hey dude, I just be rapping the whole day. go see what these bums are saying.
12-1 in his career. And I did watch that loss. The loss is very important to watch. He is also 5-0 in his last fight. He is coming off of a submission win in his UFC. I get the love for Els. Again, he's got back-to-back knockouts. He will trick you into thinking he's a striker because he does have some big, heavy power. But he's not. He's actually a very good grappler. He's got that loose striking style. He's basically just buying time, avoiding being hit so that he can go ahead, come forward, take his cage, working to the ground. He will throw bombs in the pocket. He's athletic enough to mix in some kicks, some clean techniques, and he wants to get to the ground. He can get to the ground, and he can have some success on the ground. And all of that is wrapped in a dog package. He's a dog. This guy will stand there, fight a real fight, be a man about it, and make it up. So I get the love for Els Brener. But I disagree. I think Mohamed Oroltai can be that guy. He's a fun grappler. He will strike for a little bit before fully committing to the wrestling. His striking is stiff, it is wide, and he can be hit, which is not good. But his wrestling and grappling pressure are non-stop. He has an insane amount of cardio. He's got plenty of power. He's got a very good chin. He can set a really good pace. And I mentioned I've seen his only loss. Go watch his only loss. It was a very competitive fight. He never stopped moving forward. He couldn't get the wrestling going. That's ultimately why he lost. But he didn't quit. He didn't fold. He didn't give up. He just continued to move forward and continued to try to work. He is coming off that win over Uros Medic. We had 7 takedowns in the eventual submission. Uros Medic cracked him. But he, in my opinion, never had him in very real trouble.
I agree.
Okay, thank you. Because people, I said that in my quick picks. I was like, Uros didn't really have him in trouble.
But he didn't even act like a fucking phase in the middle.
People were like, what are you talking about? Uros, it's like, he
Like,
no
knockout shots that did not really hurt him. But those were knockout shots. I mean,
Yeah, look at this guy. Look at this guy. You can just, there's some people you see and you're just like, that guy can take a punch. Mohamed Oroltai is you.
no better name.
Like immediately.
Thumbs up, see? You can't.
Oh man, I didn't do that purpose. Anyway, Mohamed Oroltai can take a punch. We saw that. So now we have a guy who can take a punch, who is a nasty wrestler. I think he gets it. I mean, the odds reflect that, so this isn't like a hot take. But according to the comment section, this is a hot take because people are all over Els Brener. They love him in this matchup, just dismissing Mohamed, dismissing the wrestling and all that. I think Mohamed wins this fight. I would prefer than people saying Els wins. I prefer they bet the shit out of him so the line will kind of bit. But I do like Mohamed wins this fight. We continue.
I don't really, when I wrote down this fight, I mean, you kind of know what's going to happen, right? Oroltai is going to get the takedowns. I believe he's going to get the takedowns when he wants them in the first round. He's probably going to control the entire first round. I don't think he's going to finish on a guy like Els Brener. But I think he gets to the second round. And then that's when the fucking gets. I really think this fight really starts in the second round, and I believe it's going to be throw out the fucking X's and O's, throw out the technique, throw out this and that. I think that this is going to turn into a complete fucking dogfight from the second to the third round. Oroltai's going to win the first, and then the next two are going to be up for grabs, because this new Brener is a fucking dog, man. You saw that against Haram, the comeback, the shots, I mean, the absolute fucking destroyer of worlds late in fights. And I think that he is going to make this new Oroltai work harder than he's ever had to work before, and then we're really going to see if he is going to be the real deal with his cardio. I know Brener's going to be there in front of the home fans, from bell to fucking bell. I question that with Oroltai. I think Brener's going to make him work hard he's ever had to work, and I think he will win rounds and win minutes doing it. He's a more dangerous fighter of the two, and I think that Brener's going to pull this off. So I think the first round, you're going to be like, I can't believe, could you watch it, Daddy? Look at this, he's got control for that. Look at control for it. Could you imagine? We're going to be sitting there, you're like, why is Brener bet? Why is Brener bet? And then in the second round, halfway through, you're going to be like, it's fine. He won the first. I mean, Brener's going to gas. And then the third round, you're going to be sitting there real fucking quiet, Angelo. Oroltai is getting fucking beat in a decision. And Els Brener's going to win this fight.
Yeah, I don't see that, man. I bet you. I only have $30. I only have $30 in bet openly.
I mean, check. You said you have how much?
30. Would you like to send me some?
I have $1,156.26.
I think 800 is mine. Because I was eating good for a while there, and then
This is really this might.
Wasn't one of them?
Eventually, this is going to just buy your ticket.
the problem is it wasn't. So she's at American Top Team, doing all the things, winning all the fights. She's
These guys see things that just a totally different way from what I see, bro. This is why I'm Rico and I get it right. We're back. Hey, mama. What's cracking like a food? Why are you celebrating over here? Thank you. Saw this man fight was last week. Let me just say that. Last week. Because his first fight in the UFC, he's been on the regional scene. I've never seen him, okay? Never seen him regional scene. His first fight was in November. And that was, he literally fought, what is that, 3 weeks later? So he fought in October. 3 weeks later, he gets the call, UFC wants you to fight. And he's on a fight night, and he's going up against Uros Medic. Now, he was a sacrificial lamb. He got it on 4 days' notice. And Uros Medic, if you guys don't remember, Uros Medic is a guy on last week's fight card. If I can pull it up here. Last week's fight card, Uros Medic was my lock of all locks on the main card. I told you put Uros Medic in everything you're doing. Uros Medic's winning the fight, and he went out there and dominated Tim Means. Eurosmetic is a very good fighter. And I watched Eurosmetic get manhandled, embarrassed and manhandled for 2 rounds, for 10 minutes. This is the best fighter on last week's card. And this freak of nature, this robot, he was made in China, whatever he is, he's amazing, bro. His wrestling reminds me of all the Russian wrestlers. He's just got that boa constrictor grip. I don't know if he's going to get tired. I don't know what it takes to beat this man. He's lost once in his life, and it was a competitive fight, but he's lost once in his life. But when I tell you, he just ground and pounds you, he smothers you, and he's so strong. Pound for pound, incredibly strong. Training at Team Alpha Male. I don't like Team Alpha Male. This guy is amazing. He doesn't even know English. He's training in California. He's like, yo, I'm with these guys. No, man. Elvis Brener is a good grappler and a good jiu-jitsu guy. But if you're going to get nullified by some monster wrestling, and it's going to get exhausting, I like this dude, man. I'm telling you, Kyrgyzstan. That's where he's from, Kyrgyzstan. What the hell is Kyrgyzstan? I'll never know. This dude is real, man. He's a joy to watch. He really is. I'm going to be disappointed if he doesn't win because I have literally added him to every parlay that matters. So my type Beck, whatever, I just call him Orobay. If you don't know who he is, go watch his highlights. Go watch his fight against Medic, and you'll see what I'm talking about. We're talking about a guy who just walks in and just dominates you, just smothers you, manhandles you. And there's something to be said about that. Obviously, it's not a hot take that he's minus 265 favorite. It's not like I'm calling my shot, but I'm telling you that's a lock. I like that lock. I really like Bonfim. Those two are real locks to me. Okay? The 265 and the 520, those two aren't missing. And then you can add anything you want to it, either Barbosa or close. That's what I did here. I added close to 1 and Barbosa to 1. That's all I'd be betting on this whole card. I'd just be betting those 2 parlays. I'd be done. And I understand there's a whole lot over here you can throw together to try to make your money. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. But the Brazilians that are betting on this have made it very difficult to make money on the card unless you parlay everybody. And I don't agree with that. So this is where we're at. I think you're going to get a win here. I don't know if it goes the distance or not. I don't know. But, man, he's not fighting a scrub. Elvis Brener is tough as hell. He's a gamer, bro. He's tough. But I see a world-class grappler. I see a world-class future champion caliber grappler. That's what I see right here. This is Orobal, dude. Future champion caliber grappler. I might even come back to this video and say I was right. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows.
With the YouTube Music app, you can start a radio station with up to 30 artists. And be your own DJ. Try 1 month free.
Alright, bro, calm down. Let's see what we just did. We just did the Mirabelle. Hey MVPs, Rico Knows here. We're going to talk to you guys about the next fight. It's Elvis Brener versus Mayektek Oroltai. I don't know how to say his first name, bro. He's from one of these countries nobody knows. I don't know how they find translators for these countries. I don't know what's going on. He's like in the middle of one of the stands and Tibet and the Himalayas, and he's just one of those searchers. He's something like that, bro. I'm just, forgive my ignorance. I have no idea what he's doing, right?
Max is now on YouTube Primetime. Enjoy the latest HBO originals, award-winning series, and movies.
Shoe King builds bridges.
My name is Willy Wonka.
Get more of your favorites with Paramount Plus, AMC.
Elvis Brener. Oh, we're done there. Next fight. Properties browse. Carolina. Oh, no way. I like Carolina Kowalkiewicz. Oh, no way. What are we doing? You're going to have to talk me out of this one. You're going to have to talk me out of this one.
15 and 7 in her career, as I mentioned, 4-1 her last fight, but on a 4-fight win. She takes on Iceman Lucindo, 15 and 1 in her career, 4-1 in her last fight, and she's coming off that submission win over Alex Mejida's girlfriend on Viana. That was zesty, right? That's what the kid would say, zesty. Was that zesty? It was. I get it. Carolina Kowalkiewicz, nasty strike. She's been a very good striker for a very long time. She fought for a title many, many years ago. I mentioned this career resurgence. She's really starting to put things together. She has fought some of the best women on the planet for a long time. She averaged almost 6 significant strikes landed per minute. She has maintained a solid 74% takedown defense. She found herself on this 4-fight win streak after the 5-fight losing skid. And she has come off a pretty straightforward win over Viana, where she did not get the rest of them. She was 1 for 6 in takedown attempts, but she did control the strike. She's taking on Lucindo. She's a grappler, primarily a grappler. She uses power to clinch up and drag opponents to the ground. Once she's on the ground, she's got good mouth pressure. She'll use strikes to loosen you up and then try to find a submission. Striking is just okay. She really waits for you to throw, for you to commit stuff, and then she'll counter and rush in for a takedown. The game plan is always get this fight to the ground, control on top. And as I mentioned, she's coming off that submission winner with Viana. You know, I'm going to go ahead and pick Lucindo here because she is 16 years younger and the more dangerous fighter. But I do have some concerns with her decision. And at 16 years, it could be. It'd be on MTV show.
Yeah, 16 months before.
Yeah. Ivan's the more dangerous fighter. Ivan could absolutely get this to the ground and win. But if you go watch Ivan's last loss against Yasmin Yaroui, she could not get the takedowns. And she was light years behind in striking. That could happen here. But I do think Ivan wins. I think she's going to bully Carolina a little bit, drag her to the ground, and then this will streak Carolina going. It's going to sort of fall off a bit. So I'm going to pick Ivan Lucindo here. I do think she's the next generation. She's dangerous as shit. She moves forward. She's got all the tools. And this is a great test for her against to try to prove that like Carolina. We think Jinky boom booms.
Yeah, what's her name? Yasmin or whatever against Lucindo is way better, way faster, way better boxer. Going to stay in your face more than Carolina. Carolina does try to beat you with volume right in the takedowns. Maybe makes a takedown of her own. But really trying to just kind of pressure you with volume and win fights out, which is like crazy dangerous. That's a good recipe in my mind for Lucindo. Lucindo wants to dance right. She wants to counter strike. She wants to get that range of kicks, which I believe she's won a game too versus Carolina. But also, when you pressure a little bit too much, she is going to be there with those level changes. So I think this is pretty much as easy as Lucindo. There is a world where sometimes she is with low volume. She's looking for those powerful shots, and maybe Carolina is able to get ahead of her, maybe her in the first round. But eventually, I think this fight makes it to the round. Lucindo kind of just falls off the ground. So Lucindo seems like she's improving from that one fight that you mentioned to her last fight. It looked like she kind of dialed it back. She's a little more focused. I think she brings that into this fight and really kind of dominates the fight that should be also set up for her.
Yeah, I do think that is a matchup for a reason. I think it's a good matchup. I think it's like, here's a test for you. Let's see how good you are. Let's see how you do.
You just got to say, like, look at the jawline and the fucking lips. Holy shit! Hold on a second.
This is like, have you ever seen that Shane Gillis, Joe Rogan clip? You're getting close. You're close. Between Andrade and Lucindo, you're getting close.
No, I mean that jawline was.
You're just like, ooh, which very muscular. Your whole thing is muscular, short-haired MMA fighting women. That's your thing.
I'm gonna show you something real quick that's gonna really change the entire thing. Actually,
Yeah,
look
wait.
at it. This could be a bad situation here, but hold on a second.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anybody new here? Jessica Andrade, he also is convinced it's
oh,
absolutely.
that's like blurry, but I mean, if you just look at it like this.
That look. I mean, I know what that looks like. That looks like what's his name? Yeah.
His name.
Yes, his name.
That
That looks like
those lips. I mean, Jesus.
You're getting
You
close.
include that one.
you're getting close. Are you gonna spend $9,200 on your crush?
You figure what it look like?
I have them. It's Michael Morales. Yeah, pull up a picture of Michael Morales. No, not like this. You cut everything off, and you only left like eyes, nose, mouth. Just look like Michael Morales. Hold up. I mean, am I right? I did it off the top of my head.
Hold on, this is a better picture. Actually, this picture, you're gonna nail it on this one.
Oh, maybe not Michael Morales.
But this one, I found a picture of this. Are we still live?
Okay, I mean that's not outrageous. It's not quite what I had in my head.
I just like to hear what they say, but I don't always agree with them. Hey MVPs, going to talk to you guys about the next fight on the prelim card. It's the second to the last prelim fight. You guys see it here. Carolina Kowalkiewicz. You do what you do, bro. Her name is KK. All right, KK's been fighting for a while. And then she's fighting Isman Lucindo. Remember, yes, last week I told you guys about how there's a new breed of fighter where it's like the more manly woman, more muscular, can take you down and win the fight. That's why we bet on Silva versus Silva. They'd kill me with that on the broadcast. But it was right here. Karine Silva versus Ariana Limsky, who they changed their name to Silva, but it doesn't matter. I said Karine's just stronger, more physically developed, right? That's what's happening here. You have one of these new age fighters who's a grappler and going to do the thing. And you have a fighter in Carolina who's 38. And she's going to be striking. She doesn't have knockout power anymore. Whenever she won a fight, it was usually by submission or points. But she's a striker now, and it's kind of one of those things where, well, I know you're striking, and it looks like it's good for the judges, but I can walk through your strike and get a takedown and win the fight, right? That's what it is. So when you look here, Carolina, by the way, she's been fighting for a very long time out of American Top Team. And when I say a long time, bro, she's been fighting since 2012. And in the women's division, that's pretty crazy. And you look down here, she beat Rose Namajunas, okay? She beat Randa Marcos. These are great women that she's beat before. Obviously losing to Joanna and Claudia, and then beating Felice Herring again. That girl never wears clothes, by the way. And then going on this 5-fight loss, 5-fight losing streak. And it's like, oh, is she going to get cut? Well, nope. She's going to go on a 4-fight winning streak, okay? Get back on the winning track and start winning fights again. And now we're going to decision. Here's what I want to say about this. She's a, what is she? What is that? Plus 300 underdog? Plus 310, it's growing. First off, it's a women's fight. It's going the distance, theoretically, right? I would probably bet that. It's a minus 176 to go the distance, so they expect it. If you're going to bet going the distance, just remember that you can't parlay it with anything. So you just got to get it right at that moment, right? I think you can do the over rounds with it. But I want to tell you, man, Carolina being a plus 300 underdog is highly disrespectful to this great fighter. If you look, she fought some dogs in here and took them to decision. Okay, we're talking dog. Jan just fought in a main event for the title, and they went to decision, and that's a knockout artist. She's out there punching like a monster. Okay, I still think she loses. So let's just say that, right? You can't parlay this. Do not parlay this. Do not add it to any of your parlays. I see it. It's minus 440. It looks like you want juice on it and all this shit. I wouldn't go there. If you want to, you can fade it. I might fade it right now just for the record, bro. Like, I think it's just too much to assume she's going to get out. Man, we'll go. We're going to keep it a lean no matter what. But I'm telling you, this shouldn't be as wide as it is. Although you still have a path to victory as getting takedowns and winning the fight. And I don't see that from Carolina at all, right? If we look at Iceman and her career, she just got a submission. She's new to the UFC, but she lost to Yasmin. Yasmin's a wrestler, so it wasn't like she could get any takedowns and she couldn't win the fight. So that was that. But down here in her career, I've seen her lose by submission. There's no threat for her to lose by submission in this fight. She's not going to get knocked out. It's got to be by points. And going to decision, she typically wins unanimously because she's winning the rounds. Like she's just getting a takedown and being in a dominant body position. It's a little annoying. I think it's going to be a boring fight. I wouldn't bet this fight at all. Not with these odds. I wouldn't touch this fight with a 10-foot pole, bruh. Do not bet this fight at all unless you believe Carolina's going to win it and outpoint you. Going the distance, over rounds, something like that. Getting to decision. She's been to the decision with great fighters, and she's not fighting a great fighter. So I think going to decision is real. But I also think she could find a way to win, man. It's just, I'm not going to tell you guys to gamble on it. I'm not going to put it on the card. Man, scared money don't make money, right? Scared money don't make no money. It's the same way I felt about some other fighters. I can't ignore this. This just feels wrong. Shout out to Brazil. They're probably gonna. They put her in there with a favorable matchup. Nah, I just don't see it, man. It is what it is. I'm going with a value bet. You can fade me. You can avoid it. You don't have to do it. I'm going with a value bet. That's what I'm doing. All right. Sorry for the. Yeah, you want confidence. You want me to tell you, do this. No, don't tell me. Good luck. Peace. That's wild. I gotta see this girl. Give me a second. I'm not posting that video. We're gonna go watch all the fights. All of them. And I didn't want to. Arm triangle there. She knows what she's doing on the ground. Bunch of commercials. Oh my goodness. Can we stop getting all these commercials? There we go. See the top pressure.
Confident. Look at this.
That's not who we're looking for.
Montserrat.
That's Montserrat.
Is Juliana getting in your face right away? It's showing you, man, this is my octagon.
Well, that's smart. That's a smart approach
Yes.
for Miller, right? You have
Feet tall. And is off to a great start, just 40 seconds in. Keeping the face clean and ends up on top.
Here today.
Yeah.
Cuba.
Very new.
effective.
JJ. Wow! Go in one word.
To believe it.
And now.
So here at the UFC,
To land at third.
and wait, because things around the board.
Key. JP. He makes it easy. Marcus McGee.
Well, Marcus McGee by the numbers, 4 first-round finishes. He's now riding a 4-fight win streak. He has 7.
Low here. You might.
1-1.
Our first.
Stick it.
PC.
I guess.
292. Next.
But no, she seriously, she brings it. Fast hands, action packed.
A 3-round win over Brogan Walker in her first fight of the year in April. And another victory will send her guns blazing into the latter half of 2023. Coming up next, Poliana Dama de Ferro Viana beats Yasmin Lucindo. Yasmin Lucindo gave a very good account of herself. It really burst onto the scene last summer when she fought Yasmin Jauregui in a barn burner of a fight in San Diego. That put her on the map. She was, at the time, I believe, the youngest fighter on the UFC roster. She's still the youngest female on the UFC roster at 21 years old and the 3rd youngest fighter overall. But Paul, her fighting style is something to behold. She brings it for as long as the fight goes, and she hopes to bring it to Poliana Viana here tonight, which is a respectable opponent on the other side that she can really get a good win over.
Yeah. Her fighting style is very unlike her walkout style. And her fighting style is fast, furious, and at a high pace. But she's really taking her time right now. She must not know we just had 2 decisions in a row.
They let Joe Van pick us on. They let Joe Van pick us on.
Definitely Joe Van's doing here.
Everything is false, bro.
But no, she seriously, she brings it. Fast hands, action-packed, mixes things up well. Her debut didn't go her way, but man, she bounced right back, and she was pretty dominant in that fight. Just couldn't get her out of there, and it went to decision. But she's definitely fought young, and she fights like a young and hungry fighter, DC.
I just remember watching her make her debut in San Diego, and I could not believe the level that I was watching these 2 young women fight at when they were so young, not only in their career, but just in their age. But when she was talking to the media earlier this week, they asked her about the submission skills of Viana. She goes, listen, guys, I have been training with Vina Janjadova, one of the best grapplers in the world. I am very confident in my jiu-jitsu, but I still have to remember, this is all of MMA. I've got to be prepared for everything. And me and my team have planned for plan A. We have plan B. We have plan C. She goes, if I get a knockout, great. But if it doesn't, I am ready to do everything inside of the octagon. We're going to see, because she's going to be tested in all those areas tonight against Poliana Viana.
This is among the longest walkouts in Apex history.
50, Mike, Minty, you got anything to add?
Yeah, right? She beat herself.
Minty, you got anything to add on
Watch out more. I mean, I got the laundry list of like
Yeah, go ahead,
accomplishments.
yeah,
Like,
get on that, man.
This isn't a newspaper page. I don't want to just read them off. But she has finished 10 of her 14 wins. She is an exciting young prospect. Gone for her 9th UFC debut back in 2020. Which one?
See, on her record.
It's because Lucindo did. Be yourself. That's what the tattoo says.
Yeah, that's Yasmin Lucindo. is the youngest female fighter on the UFC roster. She's just 21 years old. Poliana Viana, 10 years her elder. Also 2 inches taller is Viana.
Tonight, 3 rounds. And Lucindo! Inches tall, Herrick Leone.
Las Vegas, as is Luciana. Yasmin Lucindo. Impressive in her debut showing last August when she was the youngest fighter on the UFC roster. Now she's the youngest female at 21 years old. And she's in the yellow. All Brazil matchup, as we will get in our main event tonight when Vicente Luque takes on Rafael dos Anjos. Oh, counter left hook from Lucindo. Oriana Viana has finished all 13 of her victories, so both of these ladies well versed at not taking the 15 minutes.
Viana with a slipper.
Oh my goodness, she kept on it.
Let's see if she can switch directions and take her back over that leg.
Yes, you got to take her back there. A couple of short shots for Viana.
Oh, she gets it.
Now reverses it. Different way to get that takedown, but she got it. And now she's got a wrist.
I think for Lucindo, either open that guard, start looking for submissions, kick off, but don't accept this. Don't allow Viana.
Making this holding.
2 minutes to go in round 1 when the stand-up comes. Viana looked good on the feet, throwing combinations.
She did. Viana's super aggressive, man. When she goes, she will put her head in there and get to the fight.
Forward. Back to the clip. Lucindo blitzing forward. Back to the clinch they go. Body lock for Lucindo.
Headlock by Viana.
She gets a
Takedown of her own.
address this.
One way to turn. So that's that option. Seconds around.
What the hell?
Where's what are we gonna do?
It's one of the penalty start time. Viana and Yasmin Lucindo. From Lucindo buckles the knees of Viana. That hurt first 5 minutes. Hanging shot from Lucindo buckles the knees of.
She was hurt.
Yeah, that would have been the time to rush the situation, but she held back. Yeah, Lucindo.
Yeah, Lucindo takes it. There's the warning by Chris Taione in round 2.
Well, Lucindo seemed to be more willing to throw punches at the end of the round, but when she did lose the position, right?
The ref is.
See what you felt there.
Let's go.
Yep. Tanioni is leaning in a little bit.
He's warning them at least. He's letting them know, hey.
Lucindo can pass. Yeah, Lucindo can pass here. Yeah, she can clear the leg into a three-quarter mount if she wants to. Her right knee goes to the mat there. Look at that. Now she's in three-quarter mount. She's got an opportunity to posture and get some damage off now.
Or
Arm triangle. Arm triangle.
Off to that side.
Oh, that's tight.
And now with more than a minute, there is the tap. Yasmin Lucindo. So by once she got.
She found shots, but once that arm came into the position, she jumped on it, and it was a
Third win for the.
has ready for life. My world's yes.
Right in front of you since 19.
With a 7-bout winning streak under her. The burger.
How the high without
Tilly. Apex as well. At UFC 30. And from the Apex, the two fighters that serve up fast balls for fun. Fiery flyweights take centre stage. Standout, Brogan Walker. But after a 15-minute war with Mexico's Jasmine Howdy, everybody knew the name of the Brazilian prospect, who makes her second Octagon appearance against Brogan Walker tonight. A finalist on season 30 of The Ultimate Fighter, Walker has already faced off with the likes of Miranda Maverick, Erin Blanchfield and Juliana Miller over the course of her career. And the next goal on her list is secure.
It's next, welcome. DY.
You can rise.
Domino's.
Just lobbed a message. Facing off with the there, Brogy Walker. Lots of changes in her approach. She's moved her camp from Guam over to California. Those who watch The Ultimate Fighter looking to one. Walker is 34. There is an inch difference in height.
Weight division, 8 victories with 3 defeats. And across the octagon, her opponent fighting out of the red corner in a Fortaleza, Brazil.
20-year-old Mike Clock is brought to you by proper number 12 Irish Whiskey. The blue, she came in with 4 weeks' notice. She really was disappointed with her last fight that we saw with Juliana Miller in a tough finale. Looking to put things right, made some adjustments in training. Very. Oh, she did territory possible. You. Counter those punches. Whoa! Well, she paid back in Lucindo. Enough. If you're only using half the body, your opponent's going to read it. Let one go. Just see that one. The boxing's not there. It's like one punch, haymakers, and then kicks out of Walker. And you're seeing the boxing combos out of Lucindo. Fights. Crazy to think that she turned pro when she was 14 as well. So experience changes here. No aggressive range. That will.
This all happened.
Let's see if they
Download.
What are the bright?
Know that the attacks are going to be the kicking attack for Walker, right? That she's going to be just throwing these big kicks and you counter those things. But for Walker, she's got to be more aggressive, and that's what they're talking about. You got to lead the dance a little bit. You
Shifted her weight up.
you're going to have trouble.
And Lucindo be first. Walker formed a really close relationship with both Amanda and Nina Nunes on The Ultimate Fighter. They the student is getting on, but Lucindo is having the better of the exchanges. She too had a lot of support from some legends, Minotauro Nogueira and Amanda Nunes as well, chiming in on her debut. Wow, look at the line odds there, minus 950 for Lucindo.
Available with the all-new
Corner from the famous Las Vegas Strip. Eager to test herself against one of the strawweight division's most respected contenders. Viana is well aware that a win over Karolina Kowalkiewicz could be her ticket.
Kowalkiewicz.
It was a long road back to the top 15 for Karolina Kowalkiewicz, but after the former strawweight title challenger defeated Felice Herrig, Silvana Gomes and Vanessa Demopoulos in succession, it was clear that the Polish veteran was in business in the title race once more. Aiming to put a big name on her resume after scoring an important victory over Maria Oliveira in June, Romania's Diana Belbița has shown flashes of her potential during her 4 years competing in the octagon. But now it appears that she's put it all together at the perfect time to make a run. Coming up next, Karolina Kowalkiewicz battles Diana, the warrior princess, in bank and in face on the...
Get a lot of no, see her fight vision.
Really good kicking game, big overhand right, knees in the clinch. It was a little bit of everything, and it was a big victory.
Battling back from injuries, 3 years of frustrating form to put together a 3-fight win streak. But she had to completely change her life, Paul. She married her coach, but then they agreed to hand the coaching over to American top team. And she said, despite all of this, what the overriding thing was that she just loves her job. She's got bigger and stronger. Yesterday at the weigh-ins, actually, she had to strip down to make weight. She hasn't done a proper weight cut before, so still learning, even at this stage of her career, and she's in great form coming into this fight.
Yeah, and you see her close behind. I mean, these guys have a great connection with each other, and she just seems overall better mood, happier to be here. Now, granted, part of that is because you're on that winning streak and you've been doing well again. But you had to battle through those losses that you were going through in your career. She never was ready to call it quits and move on. She had that bad fracture in her orbital over in New Zealand back in the day, too. And she battled through all that, figured things out, and is now stronger than ever. And it's showing in her performances. She's aggressive again. She's mixing things up, getting good top control, good ground and pound. Also, just not afraid to show that kickboxing, that Polish style of just marching forward with big combinations. You saw her in the highlights. Catch the kick of Demopoulos, throwing like 5 right hands right down the middle. Just her aura about her is very positive right now, and that's going to absolutely translate into her octagon.
She cannot take on the tape, 4-inch reach advantage. To introduce the fighters is Bruce. Fighting out of the blue corner, 1/2 pound.
Holding professional record, 15 wins, 7 losses. She stands 5 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 1 inch. And when the action begins, a referee in charge, Terry.
Coming in, a lot of positive momentum. If you need reminding, Kowalkiewicz in the red, Belbița in the black, straight to action. Love it.
Right away.
Paul spoke about the relationship that Kowalkiewicz has with her coach, Kahumpa. They've really been vibing very well. He came out early in fight week. He said he doesn't normally do that for fighters, but if all of his fighters were as coachable as Karolina, then he said his job would be way easier.
Yeah, he said that, right? I tell her to do this, I need you to do that. There's no questions, there's no arguing, there's no debating. Even if at first she's not quite on board with why, she does it. Oh, wow. Beautiful back take here. Wow, way to reverse that nicely, huh, DC?
I mean, you heard Kahumpa telling her right away, get the back, get the back, get the back. And you saw Karolina just pushing at the elbow. It's just like in wrestling, man. You push the headlock off, then you find yourself on top, and she gets it to the mount. That was
Yeah,
beautiful.
nice work by Kowalkiewicz. Of course, she submitted Felice Herrig. She got her back, I believe it was, and landed the submission. But now she's in a very dominant position in the mount.
And very early, where they're not sweating, they're dry.
Nice.
Yep, just bridged into her there.
Nice work so far from both ladies. Now, nice job. Karolina didn't recognize that her knee was still down. She was ready to throw that up kick.
Little separation, but it's been all action. Later this month, Power Slap is back. Power Slap 5 will feature full title matches, including the inaugural Super Heavyweight Championship bout between slap legend, the crazy Hawaiian and former Pac-12 defensive lineman Kalani.
Absolutely.
Right, Paul?
You want to go first now?
51% who win the toss with pretty definitely on slap. So
I want to slap.
would you like to go toe-to-toe with him?
That's who you should go with. You're going to call somebody out.
I don't want to slap. They're just standing there punching each other. They're not backing up.
They got tiny
Touching exchanges. Getting her way down. And that is the weapon that she used most in her last fight. It was more of an overhand when she fought last against Oliveira, but that was a beautiful straight right there from Belbita.
Oliveira was just wild. Just didn't pick the part, right?
yeah.
Power coming from. Some really good corner advice for Carolina in between rounds. Just talking about how she can't dip her head in those exchanges when they're coming out of the clinch. Belbita trying to get some clinch work going, and she's kind of putting her head down and pulling her back. Ova letting her know the knee is coming, and she's got to keep the left hand guard up higher because that right hand is sneaking through, and they made it clear that that was something they were aware of because he was like, we don't want that. Also mentioned getting a single leg to the body lock, so look for Carolina maybe try to take this fight back down to the ground.
She took her down pretty easy at the end of the first.
There it is.
Yeah, she took Belbita down pretty easy.
Takedown that she's the corner was looking for. Belbita's doing a good job.
Yeah, because Kowalkiewicz really worked hard for that. Trying to misdirection, right? DC giving her knee in the middle, going this way, body lock, and didn't work out. Here she is on the single, but loses it. Carolina looking a little tired as well.
Yeah, she does. I was thinking that at the end of round one, she was breathing a little heavy. Nice uppercut there by Carolina.
Yeah, her corner called for that between rounds.
There she lands it again. Not as much pop on that one, but
Southpaw look for Kowalkiewicz.
I wonder if there's a particular strike. There's usually something
Even as well.
and getting right back these punches.
Kowalkiewicz.
I don't know how that opportunity here for
He
Belbita.
stays really, really tall so that when you try to that count,
She's in there.
Been with that takedown to make it count.
Family.
Well, see, and I.
Pay-per-view.
Carolina's corner being, oh, your fighter going in.
And they've extended.
Then comes up top, the right uppercut through the guard of Belbita because Belbita. Yeah.
And I saw that from Kowalkiewicz as well. It's nice one. Oh, nice
There it is
six
again.
as well.
Jab to the body, changing her levels nicely, and just keeping her volume going. Even when we thought she was a bit fatigued, she's battling through and throwing big volume here in the third.
It's not complicated either, DC, is it?
you can be tired, but then when you start finding success,
Yeah,
you're like,
it'll
oh my
wake you
goodness,
up.
second win, yeah. And she's gaining success as the fight is going on, especially since they recognize that uppercut would be available.
It's money.
She's landed it time and time again.
It's like at the end of a race, right? I mean, you're you know, mile 5 of that race, you want to just jump off of the bridge there and be
We've
done
never
with it.
done
But
that. We've never done
you
that.
see that red carpet or whatever it is.
Down the
Turn it up, man. You got to look good down the chute.
Coming down that chute.
You guys don't know what that's like? John knows what that's like.
Been there. Not like you, Paul, but I have been there.
Hey guys, look at the eye of Belbita,
Yeah.
the left eye now.
It got
The
bad in that
damage, yep.
last round.
The damage she did.
Ooh!
They got eat the toes. She jumps into the jab as well, doesn't she? Which is stopping Or I should ask the question, is that stopping Mel Binson coming forward?
Oh, for sure, because it's not just a little pitter-pat jab. She's putting all her weight behind it every time. Her feet, there's a right hand.
What up, Willie Bobo, man? I'm watching fights, getting ready for. I'm making my content right now. So it's just a behind-the-scenes look at me making my content, bruh. I'm not really available. I'm about to make a video right now. Let's go. All right. So look, this is gonna be wild. Hey, mic check 212. Hey MVPs, Rico Knows here. Going to talk to you guys about the next fight on the prelims. And look, full disclosure, this is the second time I've made this video. Okay? It's the second time I made this video. That probably is code for don't bet on this fight. Okay? But nonetheless, if you were looking at the fight card, it's right here. Carolina it's a W, but it's a V sound. I had to write it down. Kowalkiewicz? Yeah, bro. Whatever. She's been fighting for a long time. I just call her Carolina. We all call her Carolina, whatever it is. Too close to the ex-wife's name. I don't like saying it. Just being real. And then Yasmin Lucindo. And I know it's an I, but it's a Yasmin sound. It's Jasmine, bro. Yasmin Lucindo, huge favorite. Yasmin Lucindo's a -400, and Carolina's a +300. Guys, these odds are ridiculous, and it's mainly because it's a style thing. And let's not forget that Lucindo is the third youngest fighter on the UFC roster. She's the youngest girl on the roster, and she's always been that way. She's been fighting since she was 14. She's those new age fighters I told you guys about. I told you. There are two different types of women now. There are the pretty ones, and then there are the really manly, muscular ones. And it's this wave of these PED-induced, muscular-bound fighters that are beating up all the pretty girls. These two girls beat up some of the prettiest fighters in their last two fights. Like Carolina just beat up Diana Belvita. Belvita is the most gorgeous fighter in the UFC, according to a lot of the MVPs out there. And she beat her up and made her look fugly. No, she didn't. She's still beautiful. She beat up Felice Herring. She beat up a lot of women who look very pretty. She's beat them, and she's on a winning streak right now. And to see a fighter on a 4-fight winning streak and be an underdog by a by a +300 is out of this world, right? But it's not, because Yasmin is a problem. Yasmin is so young. Yes, against Uregi here, a Mexican fighter, she couldn't get anything going. Great wrestler, by the way, Yasmin Uregi. So she couldn't get anything going, but then she went and beat Brogan Walker, who fights out of Guam, moved to California, right? Brogan Walker didn't look like much. And then Viana is a beautiful woman. So these two ugly ducklings are beating the hell out of these swans, and it's a battle of the two fuglies, bro. And I got to be real. Lucindo punches like a brick house. Like, she punches like a wrecking ball hitting a building. She doesn't throw anything down the middle. It is this huge looping right or left hook, whatever it is. I want to say it's a right, and it's her third punch in her combo. So she's over here doing some randomness, and then a big old bomb from the right. It's weird, and it was catching everybody. And it startles these women so much that they want to go to the ground, and she's a world-class grappler like most Brazilians are. So the theory is she's stronger than you. She knows how to grapple, going to take you down. And she's 22 years old fighting a 38-year-old fighter. 16 years is a problem. I can tell you, when I was 22 versus when I was 38. But this woman, Carolina, has fought everybody. And I'm telling you, she's gone to decision with some amazing fighters. We just saw Jan. She went to decision with Jan. We just saw Jan fight for the title at UFC 300. She fought for the belt. Alexa Grasso, decision. Michelle Watterson, the Karate Hottie, decision. She's going to decision with fighters all over the place, and she beat Rose Namajunas back in the day. This is a phenomenal striker. And when I say phenomenal striker, it's just a high-volume girl. She has a weird stance, a weird fight stance. She kind of just leans forward, puts her hands up, and just throws them damn things. Now, she's not a fish on the mat like some of these other girls. She's not a fish out of water. She knows how to grapple. She has submission wins in the UFC. She knows how to win getting taken down. She knows what to do. The problem is so did Viana. Polyana Viana knew how to grapple and knew how to do things. And guess what? She got manhandled. It was like an arm triangle that came out of nowhere. The damn, you know what it is. It's Tagnoni, the worst ref of all time, telling these girls do something or I'm going to stand you up. When somebody's in a 3/4 mount, like dominating and doing ground and pound, he's like, hurry up, do something. He's so annoying. And out of nowhere, this girl wraps up an arm triangle. I'm literally telling you there was no tell. Like usually you see a head go behind the forearm, go behind the elbow. You're like, oh, arm triangle's coming. The other bicep is along the carotid artery. Your hand on her neck. You're like, arm triangle's coming. Everybody can see it coming. Not that time. Not that fight. It's pretty sneaky. With that being said, I think this fight goes the distance. I don't think anybody's getting knocked out. I don't think anybody's getting tapped out. I think they're both competitive enough to make it go the distance. So if you see that, it can go the distance. There it is. Yes or no? Yes. Minus 176. And the reason I feel that way is Carolina's gone the distance with some really good fighters in her career. She's good enough, and she's on a winning streak, and she feels really good. You see it. She's training at American Top Team. When she was in these losses here, this wasn't American Top Team. This is when she was being trained by her husband, okay, by her coach, her husband. She marries her coach, and I already told you guys, I don't like any coaches marrying their fighters. That tells me they had an alternative motive when they were a hidden agenda when they were training this fighter. She's an attractive woman. You thought, yeah, I'm gonna marry her. I'm gonna roll with her. I enjoy rolling with her. Let's stay after practice. Let's do all this. No. Marry your fighter, and then stop coaching her and send her somewhere else. Don't be Pat the Groomer Barry. Don't do that shit. Send it to somewhere else. So she went to American Top Team after marrying her coach, and here we have it. So she's been fighting out of her mind, been doing the best she can, high volume, no power, but she is a dog. Like, she is a fighter. But you're going up against one of them muscle-bound freaks. So, that being said, I'm telling you right now, don't bet on this fight. I have flipped back and forth. Don't bet on this fight. First and foremost, if you think the champ's winning, if you think the young person's winning, the young girl is winning, Yasmin. If you think she's going to dominate and win, more power to you, but it's minus 440, meaning you have to parlay it with a bunch of other things. Don't do that. You're going to risk way too much. There's other locks. You see them in green on this card right here. I'm showing you. There's other locks you can put your money on and win in other spots. This is not the spot to try to win. Not against a veteran who's savvy, has high output, and has the potential to kind of stifle your strengths. It's there. Yes, she could walk right through them and I'll look like a fool. But I'm telling you, Carolina's a problem. She's a decent fighter, a world-class fighter. I'm putting it on the card as a value bet. Don't tail it if you can't handle it. Okay? I'm going to tell you that right now. Don't tail it if you can't handle it. I have no problem missing. But do not add Yasmin as a lock to any of these parlays. It'll ruin your parlay. It'll ruin your night. If she wins, congratulations. Just pat her on the back and let it go. Avoid some fights, guys. Okay? You're going to live if you avoid all the landmines. I promise you, you're going to live if you avoid all the landmines. That's the theory. That's how you get home. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Hey, the hell with these ugly fighters. Boom. Battle of the Fuglies. Battle of the Fuglies. Boom, boom, boom. Battle of the Fuglies. Yo. I got the episode. I got the fire. Do what you do, man. Do what you desire. I call on you like a spare tire. That means I'll call on you when I need you. I ain't got no beat. Ain't gotta keep it in beat. I ain't got no street. Ain't gotta keep it discreet. Ain't gotta do nothing. Just make it bomb fart. You do what you do, man. Now you don't round nothing. Man, flip and dump it. They told me to just do it like that. They told me to rap about cyber. Rap about nothing and make something out of nothing like MacGyver. Give me a paper clip and gum. You will. Breedo is the most gorgeous fighter in the UFC, according to a lot of the MVPs out there. And she beat her up and made her look fugly. No, she didn't. She's still beautiful. She beat up Felice Herring. She beat up a lot of women who look very pretty. She's beat them, and she's on a winning streak right now. And to see a fighter on a 4-fight winning streak and be an underdog by a minus, what is it, by
Hey, it's Taylor Swift. Check out my new song Fortnite featuring Post Malone on YouTube and YouTube Shorts, your one-stop shop for music.
Try to fight it, but you can't even feel it. Try to deny it, but it's coming for someone you love. Not the wiser to deceive you, and I had to pray for who you are in the silence. It's gonna see it, 'cause it believes that with a feeling to our surprise that what's inside you're releasing now. Oh, Lord, the world just have to try now. And maybe we'll find out, but now we're coming to the place of the darker, where we see that the elders is lost time, and the last is the third to the lost time. It's all but the best in our small minds, about nothing but fear. Trying to run up a decline, baby, why take what you're supposed to do? Maybe when I'm blind by your side. Maybe when I'm blind by your side. Maybe when I'm blind by your side. Something special. In a place that's close, you and dear to our heart. It's alive. We are different, not sisters. We can never happen to us. Only 'cause I feel it, and I can see that been left in the dark. I was once very needed. It leaves me speechless, but we'll just have to trust now. Oh, that there's things bigger than us now. And maybe we'll find out what we're coming to the place in the stronger. It seems like the elders have lost time, and the lessons we learned from the lost time. It's all but a bend in our small minds, without nothing but fear. Trying to run up a decline. Maybe one day we'll learn the truth. Maybe we're blind by your side. Maybe we're blind by your side. Oh, oh, maybe we're blind by your side. Oh, maybe we're blind by your side. we won't stop.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and ad-free videos on the YouTube Kids app, so kids can bounce the Kids Bop without missing a beat. YouTube Premium, it's way more than ad-free. Try 1 month on us.
UFC 300 feels like it was just yesterday. It was 2 weeks ago. We used to do a lot of cocaine back in the day. Okay, that's unfortunate. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. Currently, you know, we dominated fight night last weekend. You have a fight every single weekend, so it's just like college football as far as what we're picking. We're doing great. Shout out to all the MVPs. We are doing great. Let's see what we got here. Joe Anderson Breedo, we got all that. Heartbreakers there. We got this. This doesn't need to be here. I don't even know what this is. See what happens. Let's see what happens. Patreon. Somebody commented something. See what that does. Close that out. Let's go here. What is this? What is this? What is this? That's my dashboard. I don't need that. I already have that up. I got these two knuckleheads in a fight. What is this? Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Nope. Nope. And nope again. Nope. 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 That's a lot of work. There we go. All right. And we're back. All right, let's see what these knuckleheads are saying.
His fights. Look at that guy. The guy that looks like a fucking hard-ass, badass motherfucker with a stern look, or this puppy-looking ginger over here that hasn't seen the sun in 15 years.
It is crazy that you are far more tan than Jack Shore is.
Yeah, man.
It is crazy.
Sun's never come out in fucking life.
I mean, I literally called him powder on the quick picks breakdown. I don't know if I've seen him more pale human being. Like a healthy, he's healthy.
Corey McKenna, that's it.
He doesn't ever see
Corey McKenna, and that's it, man.
It is crazy.
He is my teeth.
It's crazy how pale this guy is.
He's black.
Oh, he is. I thought you said he has my teeth. He is your
He is
teeth.
my teeth, yeah. He's not white, he's black.
He is.
He is black.
Either way, we got Joe Anderson Burrito at 16-3 in his career. 4-1 in his last five. He's riding a 4-fight win streak. Taking on Jack Shore, Jack Frost. 17-1 in his career. 4-1 in his last five. Coming off a bounce.
Yeah, I got upset with me a couple times. I said he got a Darren Hill body. He did. He said thanks for your concern. I said I'm worried about Jack Shore. I said I'm honestly worried about Jack Shore this week because it's Darren Hill body and Jack Shore's father searching for Jack Shore on Twitter. Found my thanks for your concern.
Of all of the things the fight man has done online, did he lose that fight? Was it against Simone?
No, that was against Matt Markey.
Okay. Well, anyways, he's on Jack Shore, 17-1, 4-1 in his last fight. He's coming off a bounce-back win over. It was his last fight, Makwan Amirkhani, after losing to Ricky Simone. Jack Shore is very good, though. He is a very good fighter. He's a very good grappler. He likes to move forward. He's constantly looking for a takedown. Both his wrestling and his striking are just similar forward pressure styles. He works in nice kicks. He's all around very solid. Striking fundamentals are there. He has almost 4 takedowns per fight on average. And as I mentioned, he's fighting the no longer the UFC Makwan Amirkhani. He's fighting Joe Anderson. This guy is insanely dangerous. He's very fast. He's very athletic. He can grapple. He can strike. Good top pressure. Wide array of submissions. Striking is not technical. He will come forward and he will throw bombs. Big wide punches, heavy kicks, no regard for what comes back his way. And even though he's comfortable striking, he also averages about 4 takedowns per fight and gets these fights to the ground. He is coming off of that win over that bum dork JSP where he was challenged to get up, and then he did get up. Breedo is a minus 145 favorite. He was a minus 200 favorite just this past weekend. The line is tightening. Money is coming in on Jack Shore. So the line dropped to minus 120. Then it took off. People were like, Breedo. And then now it's starting to come back the other way. I get the rebound a little bit because people are looking for value on this card. And you look at it and say, listen, Joe Anderson Breedo can be taken down. We watched Jonathan Pierce take him down. He can be taken down. And Jack Shore has good wrestling, good grappling. He could win this fight. And I do agree. Jack Shore could win this fight. He's a very good grappler, okay striker, good wrestling. I do think Joe Anderson Breedo is just too dangerous, too fast, too powerful, and I do think Breedo wins this fight. There's another fight. We're going to watch the odds. If this tightens a little more, I might end up working something in there. But I do have some concerns on the overall takedown defense here. Nastiest knockout I've ever seen before I pass it off is Joe Anderson Breedo knocking out Jacob's 2-time lock of the week, Chepe Mariscal. Just put that dude lights out, face down with one of the just. It was nasty. He's very dangerous. What do you think? You know, I do respect these fighters, and I respect the lines of the line and all this stuff. And Jack Shore's, he's really put his life on the line on this. This dude, Joe Anderson Breedo, is absolutely no joke. Lock of the week versus JSP because I knew he was the more dangerous fighter. There's no doubt, as we already mentioned, that Joe Anderson Breedo is the more dangerous fighter in this matchup. Opposed from Jack Shore just kind of laying and praying on this guy, which we've seen doesn't really work. Or maybe Breedo has a crazy adrenaline dump and starts gassing, and then he just kind of struggles with the takedowns in the second, third round of the fight. I don't know if Jack Shore's going to get out in the first round. This dude Breedo's going to be fired up, man. He doesn't make the best decisions sometimes, but honestly, it works in his favor a lot of times. You know, for whatever reason, he tried to offensive. I think he's a very proud guy. Honestly, JSP took him down, and when he got back to his feet, he was like, all right, I'm going to show you that I can wrestle. And he for whatever reason was grappling with JSP. The same thing might happen here. He might end up grappling with Jack Shore, but even if he starts grappling with Jack Shore, I think eventually Jack Shore's going to make a mistake. This dude, when he has opportunities in fights, he seizes them. Whether it's a submission, a scramble, a shot, this or that, it just always seems like every time there is a something that can happen, Breedo always makes it happen. He finds the shot, he finds the scramble. He is just one of those guys that's just very opportunistic
in a fight. He's a more dangerous guy. He's going to be all over Jack Shore. And I don't know how Jack Shore wins this fight except for Rutu like kind of getting tired or maybe getting dominated in wrestling, which I don't fucking see. This dude's a dangerous dude. This dude Jack Shore was a 135er that didn't really feel like cut weight or whatever the top weight cut, right? He cut that weight. And then he's at 145. He's looking flabby. He was dropped by Ricky Simone at 135. You dropped by Ricky Simone at 135. You fucking ready, buddy. You fucking ready. Because this dude Breedo probably hits like a fucking 170 here. I think Ricky smokes him.
I agree with everything you said. I do worry a little bit about the takedown defense from Joe Anderson. Jack Shore's a very good guy.
The way he can break in front chokes and stuff, Jack Shore might be fucking terrible.
I mean, in that regard, this is the same value.
That's one of the better takedown defenses. Jokes is just all these crazy. Because you won't necessarily jump him, but if he jumps it, you better be sure he probably has it.
I mean, and you love the value at minus 145. DraftKings. Yeah,
I've got 2 different ways for numbers on that.
Well, and I do love the DraftKings value. I think he's a great mid-level price at $8,500. When Joe Anderson 3-2 wins, he scores points.
This is going to be the last time I think that you get Rico at these lives. Because if he smokes Jack Shore like I think he is, I mean, we had him as a dog, like, or pick a fight.
All right. Enough. Let's go. Time for the video. Mic check 212. These guys just talk and talk and talk. Rico's got his other ideas. Mic check. Hey MVPs, looking at the featured prelim of the night, you're looking at Jack Shore 17-1 versus Joe Anderson Breedo. And you're looking at a 17-1 fighter out of Wales, and he's an underdog, plus 140. I'm not sure what the book says. I'll pull it up here in a little bit. But the reality is Joe Anderson Breedo is extremely dangerous. He is a knockout artist. He is vicious. He punches hard, does everything hard. No diddy. He's really a problem. And Jack Shore's a grappler, wrestler who wants to drown you, take the fight into the deep end. And I want to show you guys something. The reason he's 17-1, and yes, he did lose recently to Ricky Simon in a submission, but he's been in the UFC for a little while now, since 2019. And if you look at the guy, he can only do about 2 fights a year. And the reason he can only do 2 fights a year is because he was fighting at 135. And when you're fighting at 135, you actually have to take a much longer ramp up to cut the weight to get down to 135. So let's say you're walking around at 170 or 165, and you take a fight at 135, you get into camp, you have to actually start cutting weight 2 months out and gradually get down to 135 and then peak down there and then fight. He got tired of doing those long cuts, and that's what all this was. So he just said, I'm a 145er. But you're not. You're actually a little flabby, a little chubby. You're not like the other 145ers who live in that pocket, okay? There's nothing dangerous about this man other than his wrestling and his submission game. But you're talking about a Breedo guy, Joe Anderson Breedo, who actually knows how to get submissions, right? He's won a couple submissions against wrestlers and against other people. Don't worry about this Weston Wilson win. It just showed up in the corner here. Weston Wilson's a terrible fighter, and he was going for like an ankle lock of some sort, and then he just decided, you know what? You're not going to hold my ankle anymore. I'm going to knock you out. But he has beat some really good fighters. I want to tell you this fight against Chepe down here on the regional scene. You guys know Chepe Mariscal. We actually bet on him as an underdog on a previous card. Chepe is a dog. And this man straight up annihilated that dog. Knocked him out cold. It's disgusting. Go find it online. But he has these wins where he's just dangerous, man. He's dangerous, and I think it's worth it where it's at. I would not make this a lock by any means. It's a lean, and it's going to be difficult because of the style, but you can't go Jack Shore here. Jack Shore, I don't see his path to victory. I just don't think he has it. I don't think he physically has it. He's not physically developed enough. He doesn't have enough experience in there with somebody like this. This is a violent person. So I think Breedo fighting in front of his home country makes sense, and it's a lean. It's a complete lean. You'd bet it straight up if you want to. You can parlay it with Gene Silva and hope for the best, right? Just 2 Brazilians that are on a coin flip. We're on a coin flip here. Willie Gomes, he goes out and touches you and can win a round. And same thing with Jack Shore. He can get a takedown, be in a dominant body position, and essentially he wins the round with that. It's not dangerous. He's not threatening. It's just he's there. But I think Breedo's got this, y'all. Breedo hurts. He's mean. And he's going to welcome you to 145 and say, no, you're too pudgy for this. You're not disciplined enough. You're not a professional. If you can cut down to 135, then do it, man, and go win something. But that's not happening. And he's been in the UFC for a while now. Jack Shore does not scare me. No, I would fight that dude tomorrow because I know my face is going to be clean. He don't hurt me. He don't do nothing. Even if I lose, it's just going to be I might be sore the next day. I'm not gonna look crazy. You fight Breedo, you know you're not going and taking any selfies in the next couple of weeks. Like, you need to heal. That dude's a problem. So I like people who are a problem. That's my bet. Straight up, just a lean. And you can avoid it if you want to, because it is a lean. But it feels like he's gonna win this fight and just punk this kid, man. Punk Jack Shore in front of your home country. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Boom, boom, boom. We've been live for 3 hours working. It's my second live, too. We've had other lives. I don't know what's going on. Why are things not loading? What is this? Something's wrong. Breaker.
There's only one way to eat cookies with protein. Yeah, it's cheating.
Big on protein, low on sugar, huge on flavor.
Hey everybody, looking at the featured prelim of the night, you're looking at Jack Shore, 17-1, versus Joanna. And you're looking at a 17-1 fighter out of Wales, and he's an underdog, plus 140. I'm not sure what the book says. I'll pull it up here in a little bit. But the reality is that Joanna Breedo is extremely dangerous. He is a knockout artist. He is vicious. He punches hard, does everything hard. No diddy. He's really a problem. And Jack Shore's a grappler, wrestler who wants to drink.
Mamacita, vámonos de fiesta. Y ahora en mi corazón tú estás. Y yo no quiero a nadie más. Contigo que quiero pasarla. Mamacita, vámonos de fiesta.
30 grams of carbs. Like this is a meal. It's not. People don't understand. This is not a keto. Those are meals. We got cheap for all our cheeseburgers. We eat that. On when does this expire? Best if you use by January 2025. We definitely have time. Those are fine. Well, the Velveeta one says 10 November. That one's got to go first. Velveeta's got to be used first. You don't even have no room. You got too much junk in here, bro. You got junk in the trunk, babe. Literally junk in the trunk. What are we donating? What are these?
Washcloths.
Okay. Just to clean stuff?
To clean your body with. So I'm assuming that this was an old person.
With all the coffee? Yeah.
They're on,
And they didn't pick up their food. This is not healthy. It has 55% of the sodium you need in one package. Do they eat it? 4 minutes. We need 2 of these. Should I eat 1 or 2? 1. Only eat 1. It says make it 4 minutes, then take the film off and do another 3 minutes. Yeah, I don't want you cooking. It's late. I'm hungry.
there was another, truck on the railroad side. I've never seen it till the other day.
We like the Klondike bars. We like these. You know what we're not eating. I don't even know what we do with that. Where would you give it to? Who would you give it to? Yeah, the soup will be. I'll eat the soup. I'll eat the soup tonight, bro. Farmhouse potato soup with bacon. Better than any soup you ever made.
It probably is. Oh, and Brussels sprouts.
Or you eat one of these? You like General Tso. Why do the dogs get those?
The fudge things, you can't have those.
You can have these ones. I don't want them. You want them? 15 calories per pop? You like them, huh? You got no room for that, baby. You need to prioritize what's going in the freezer. Because these are going into this actual food. Stop messing around with that, baby. Kick Bob there. You gotta pull some other stuff out of their boxes. What do you need me to eat? You need me to eat some Texas toast for my middle night?
Yes, let's do that.
I don't know how to do it. My meal's done in 4 minutes. No, it won't, but it'll clear out some space, right? You know how to cook it? You need the instructions? You need the timer. All new bars for keeping. You got toilet paper too?
Yeah.
Hey.
Right, that was the best thing.
That's the best thing out of it right there.
But then I know you like.
We bread is where it's at. We bread is where it's at. You got rolls and candy. You bought the candy. That's your
I
face.
swear to you, I did not buy the candy.
You bought the candy.
I did not
What
buy
kind of
it.
rolls are these? Slider rolls? Real? They probably taste good. Like, are those like the Hawaiian rolls? Man, I'm about to pig out. I'm not pigging out. I'm eating right. I'm working too hard to be pigging out. You know what I'm saying? Good. Then.
You have to call in show up, you have to call the customer, you have to send the customer a text message, and all that's done through Instacart, and then you have to call Instacart.
What did the customer say?
Customer didn't answer, didn't respond to any of my messages.
They dead inside?
I don't know.
Was there a car in the driveway?
There was a car in the driveway on Grove Landing, a truck, and a bunch of shit on their porch, like cat food, packages, a bunch of
They just
stuff.
order a bunch of stuff. Man, what's wrong with you? How much was it? It was like 50, 60 bucks? They just don't give a shit, huh? They just don't care. Well, 2015 didn't pay for none of that.
No, they just, look, you can look. They pay online, they order online. So online pay.
You just walk out the store.
Yep, this was the first one I told you, like 16 things in Coke.
It's not good. It's not a good dinner. I need the rolls. They just ready to eat like that?
Yeah. Alright, I have released
I don't know what I do with the box. I have no use for what? Brussels sprouts? Literally straight to the trash.
My sister said Ash can eat them.
You better look online.
I need to find out, because if she can, I'll feed them to her.
Occasionally, don't be doing no, she'll get an allergic reaction.
Okay, and then this.
What is that?
About that. Actually, out
What?
all that stuff.
Is that for laundry?
Yeah.
No way. Like the little. Absolutely wild.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth watering choices, with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Thank you.
Sorry, but you're having to do that. And use them up to 5 times in one transaction. Check our app.
Thank you, my love.
You're very good.
Fresh for everyone.
What are you feeding her? She's gonna like it.
but he's also quick. Dangerous taking on Kyle Borralho. This guy's a slick grappler himself. Solid submission, well-timed takedown. He's got a really long karate-style stance. Very loose on his feet. He's going to bounce around and explode into double legs. He has judo belts. He has jiu-jitsu belts. And people say judo. He's got all the belts. He can toss you, he can submit you, he will out-grapple you, and he's quietly becoming a very good prospect. This is the first fight where the odds are pretty wide on him. His last couple fights, the odds were somewhat close, but he just continues to win these fights. He's coming off a decision win over Abus Magomedov, where he had a knockdown and only attempted one single takedown. I'm on the Kyle Borralho side. I do think he wins. I don't think Paul Craig is... He's dangerous. He's certainly a dangerous grappler, but he's not going to out-grapple Kyle Borralho. He's not going to catch Kyle in something. He's not going to win this fight. Kyle Borralho's going to win this fight. But there is, I don't know what it is, but there is just something about Kyle Borralho I don't fully trust. I don't know what it is. We haven't seen him make like blatant mistakes yet. I don't know if it's this or what, but there's just something about him I don't fully trust. I do think he wins here. Paul Craig is... Yeah, people are going to hate this, but Paul Craig is a bit overrated. I don't think he wins. Yeah, Ryan, and Paul Craig is I said before, he used to be 205, and I was 185. I said he was a 205 Ryan Hall. Right now, he's a 185 Ryan Hall. Right? They just want to be, Ryan Hall just wants to chase the Olympics, and this dude just wants to throw a triangle. That's pretty much all he does. But I will say, this is a Kyle fight. Kyle should win this fight, even if it goes to the ground, like you said. Kyle should be able to control those positions. We just saw Brener out, right? I mean, he went to the ground. Paul Craig didn't run into really too many issues. There was a little bit of a situation where he was underneath the neck of Paul Craig, and Paul Craig somehow got this weird calf slicer, putting pressure on his knee from back behind, and choked out, just wrenching up Brener's knee and got him out of the choke. This dude, for his credit, is a fucking wizard on the ground. The only way that Paul Craig is going to win this fight is if he finds something on the ground. Why would you do that? Why would you go to the ground with him ever? That's the only way he's going to win. He's not going to beat you on the feet. So if you're Kyle, just don't go to the ground at all with this guy. You're going to easily win. But I believe that Kyle is going to go to the ground. You just saw Brener Allen do it. And he probably can do it. But mistakes happen from time to time. Paul Craig does some wild, wacky shit on the ground that sometimes you're just not really training for. Kyle should win this fight. Honestly, it should be easy. I do worry a bit, but that might be my bias for my watch Paul Craig. Yeah, I do. Like I said, I can't really figure out. I don't know exactly what I don't trust about him. Oh, there's just... Yeah, no, I insist. Well, I don't know what it is I don't trust about him. There's something I don't trust about him. But luckily, Paul Craig is his opponent, and he should blow it. Yes, here's what I'll say about this fight. I'm going to give something away here, and that's just, out of the goodness of my heart, because I love you guys. I don't believe that Kyle is going to finish Paul Craig. I don't think he's going to do enough on the feet, on the ground. Even as good as he is, he's not really a finisher. And Paul Craig on the ground is a hard guy to finish. You're not going to ground and pound. And Kyle is put a body triangle on you and just fucking stay there the entire time. So I don't think he's going to finish Paul Craig. And if Paul Craig is going to win, I have to imagine it's going to be some wild fucking finish. I don't see him winning a fucking decision. Out-grappling Kyle like he did Nunes before he got that finish. So there is Paul Craig inside the distance, decisional action. I fully expect Kyle to probably win the decision. You're going to get your money back. It's plus 300 right now for Paul Craig. I think if you're a little... Next up, at 41 professional fights at 30 years old. It's great. He's 30 and 11.
Hey, MVP is going to talk to you guys about the first fight on the main card now for UFC 301. You see it here. Paul Craig, 17-7-1 against Kyle Borralho, however you want to say it. He's 15-1. Now, Kyle, if you guys don't know, he's a heavy favorite in this fight, minus 650 compared to a plus 425. But Kyle is the face of the Fighting Nerds. So there's a team out of Brazil called the Fighting Nerds. Kyle wears these bottle glasses, and he's a nerd and everything. Don't get it twisted, man. He's a dangerous dude. He hasn't lost any fights since, like, his second pro fight of his life. And then ever since then, he's just been winning nonstop. There's going to be a time to fade Kyle. But this is not the time. Okay? This is not the time. He's not losing this fight. Paul Craig is, and forgive the term, he's a jiu-jitsu nerd. Like, he just wants to roll and get a submission, and I don't like it, man. These guys got too many muscles to be rolling around and not beating each other up, and he's that type of guy. If you don't show up to the octagon to beat somebody up, I don't like you. He shows up to roll, and I guess he rolls in a gym for submission or maybe for dominant body position and doesn't really punch much or do anything too exciting. And I've watched him, he's lost 3 out of his last 4 fights, and he's lost to guys who aren't necessarily great grapplers. Brener Allen submitting him, that's weird, right? Beating Mooney's, congratulations, and then losing to Johnny Walker. He's been fraud checked over these last 4 fights here. Yes, he beat Jamal Hill. It was back in 2021. Mauricio Hua, he beat some guys, bro. But I'm telling you, this guy is not dangerous. He's actually a little chinny. And I don't think he can really beat Kyle outside of getting lucky. And we're going to see some north-south positions, some ankle lock positions. We're going to see something weird, like we do in some of the girl fights where we're like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. You guys ever seen 2 freshmen wrestle? I don't know if you guys ever watch wrestling in high school wrestling. High school wrestling, if you see 2 freshmen wrestle, it'll just be 2 people trying to do something, and nobody quite knows the moves just yet. They haven't really been real well-versed in their, in their positions and whatnot. But in this case, these guys are well-versed. It's just going to be chaos and chaotic and weird, because that's who Paul Craig is. But I don't believe Paul Craig is winning this fight. Now, I'm going to tell all you MVPs, I'm going to give you guys keys to the castle here, okay? Keys to the castle. All our money is going to be made in the prelims. Do not try to make your money on the main card. I think these odds are way too big, and the only way to even be profitable is to parlay them all or to do some guessing at the method in the round and things of that nature. It's just the way they've done it for Brazil, the way people have been betting on these fights. I think the money is in the prelim. That being said, Kyle's here at minus 620. Are you going to add it to your prelim parlays? I don't recommend it. I know some of you MVPs do that, but Kyle's winning the fight, theoretically. It's a minus 620, but I'm telling you, Paul Craig is not a fish. He's not a plus 400 fish. Like, that's not cool. Okay, so with that being said, you go to the sports book and you go check how can we make some money on this, more wages, and we click around a little bit and you'll see method of victory here, Kyle by points. That feels right. That feels realistic, and that's much more advantageous than these other things here. Kyle by points is real. I don't think he's going to knock him out, and I don't think the submission is quite there. So I like by points. I also like Paul Craig by a freak accident at plus 900 for a submission. It could happen. It could happen. Paul Craig is doing some crazy stuff, but I wouldn't go there. I'd sprinkle that for like $10, right, and probably make 100 out of it. But this right here, this feels like the bet to make on this fight. Kyle Borralho by points, being dominant. He's going to get rear mount. He's going to get his hooks in. He's going to be behind him, and he's going to be putting in some work and just kind of stay there. Body triangle, stay there. 3/4 mount, put a little bit of pressure on his shoulder and the neck, stay there. He's a smart fighter, but it's not going to be as dominant as we envision. There's also a double chance here. Kyle by points or TKO. Where is it at? Kyle by points and TKO, yeah, minus 160. I don't know, man. Just go by points and call it a day. And just hope for the best. It's plus 195. Sprinkle it. Don't go heavy. I would avoid this fight. I don't think you can make a lot of money on some of these fights. The odds are way too wide unless you're willing to take a wild chance on the underdog. I'm not going to do that for the card. So I have it as a lock. You won't see it in the parlays. It'll be on a main card parlay right here. And the main card parlay is just going to be, all the favorites. Essentially all the favorites. Something similar to that. And I wouldn't recommend you doing that. I wouldn't at all. Because Urseg's a real gamer and Aldo's a real gamer. These other two, it is what it is. So it's going to be tough to make money off this fight. Good luck. Please take good notes. Make smart decisions. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Let's go. Absolutely nobody watching the live stream. Let me turn it off.